But you have to start with this. We have to always know what we're doing. How is the chiropractic adjustment impacting the developing brain? And know how to frame your procedures, your exam, and your communication to yourself and to the parents and or the participant or the patient in your practice to package this all together so you know what's happening. And we do it like this, by using the first two questions, the two big questions. Hey mom, I totally understand that you are fed up with Johnny's hyperactive behavior, and that's why you're here, because your neighbor told you to try it and we're kind of your last hope. Let's just say that's the scenario. We can probably all relate to that. So here's what we say. Listen, mom, we don't actually treat, diagnose or treat hyperactivity, ADHD. But what we do, we have worked with a lot of people that have those behaviors, those manifested symptoms, certainly, and have seen some really good results. But here's what we do. We look for an underlying condition called subluxation, neurostructural shift, that may be causing altered input in the nervous system, input from the world and the body into the brain, so the brain is not being fed appropriate information. That impacts the way it's processing and, of course, the way the information is being sent out to the body. If that is going on, by the way, our exam looks for that. There's some clinical clues that are going to be there if we see that. That's your chiropractic exam. Then we teach you what should be in that. And have paperwork that's congruent with all this. That's the first question we have to ask. We have to look at, mom, do we have an input, processing, output challenge? Because if we're having altered input, it's going to alter the way we process and the way the brain sends messages out to the body, which is going to alter the way your child's brain is processing, which is going to alter the way they're moving through development and therefore the tools they're using to process their world. So the second question that we have to answer is, what tools, not just what is your child not doing well, like they're hyperactive, they're getting in trouble, they're impulsive, whatever. Not just that, we also have to ask the second question, ask and answer. And that is, we have to be able to ask and answer the question of, what is your child doing? How are they processing the world? What are the tools they're using to process their world? And we do that based on using what we know about brain development and doing an exam. We call it a functional brain-based exam to give us the information. So here's the thing we know. We know that the brain is not fully developed at birth. We know that we have to move through a trajectory of development. Think about the brain as kind of opening up like a flower. As we move through development, we gain more sophisticated tools to process our world, starting with these things called primitive reflexes, moving into our big muscles, small muscles, auditory, verbal, eye muscles, and eye control, and then, of course, higher cognition, executive function, that kind of stuff. So if your child is having input, processing, output challenges, that can impact the way their brain's moving through development, which can impact the tools they're using to process their world, which impacts the way they engage and learn and connect in their world. The symptom, the hyperactivity, the impulsivity.